I've shared with this congregation before that the holiday season is sometimes difficult for me. Though I find that time does heal, and I don't have the same level of blueness, it's a lighter shade of blue this time of year, than I once did. But I certainly understand the blue Christmas concept. Since others through the years of my ministry have also shared with me their difficulties during this season, I felt that it would be important to lift this up, not hide it behind the tinsel. Other ministers have done similar things, and some refer to this as a blue Christmas service. I've expanded this service to blue Christmas, white Christmas, it'll be all right Christmas. The white Christmas part will come after the sermon, but the it'll be all right part will be in here too. As I was looking to see what others had done, I ran across a sermon by a Presbyterian minister, Diane Hendricks. And she used a song, a popular holiday song, to sort of contrast some of the concerns that she saw in the world at that time. It was 2001. And I thought it was a very clever way to do it. So I have to credit her with giving me this idea to use this song. But I've modified the content a lot of it based on the input that you folks gave me through my little internet survey and from just reading the news about things that are going on in 2012. So here's my version of It's a Most Wonderful Time of the Year. Not. It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Only maybe it's not for everyone. Some of you have shared with me times when it's not so merry this time of year. It's not so wonderful when there is just too much stuff, too much thinking and stressing about material things. Not when pop culture gives us unrealistic expectations of family bliss that reality never lives up to. Not when we can't escape the manufactured, irrelevant, overblown controversy over holiday terminology. How do we even say a happy something to somebody? Not if you are expected to accept nativity myths that have been altered by those wanting to create a uniform belief system. Not when you really want to give back to friends and family, but you don't have the means to do so. It's the most wonderful time of the year. No, for many of us, it's not. And sometimes trying to smile and say Merry Christmas is more than difficult. It's pretty near impossible. C.S. Lewis once wrote, "No one ever told me that grief," and yes, many of us may be grieving now, said, "No one ever told me that grief felt so much like fear. I am not afraid, but the sensation is like being afraid. The same fluttering in the stomach, the same restlessness, the yawning. It's the happiest season of all, with those holiday greetings and great happy meetings when friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all." Only it's not if you're grieving. Not when there is an empty chair at the table. Not since he died. Not when you are so sick or a family member is so sick. Not after they told you they would be downsizing. Not when your marriage is hard. Not when you've been betrayed by someone you love. Not when holiday memories are so difficult. There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, and caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. No, not this year. Not when the news is too sad. Not when the fiscal cliff is looming ahead and nothing's been done. Not when natural disasters seem all too uncommon and we wonder where the next one will hit. Not when war has become normal. Not when we continue to cry for children massacred, even here in our own country. And for a nation that has not done more to prevent these occurrences. No, not this year. In truth, it has never been the most wonderful time of the year. Certainly not in the days surrounding that first Christmas long ago, as we know by the Christmas story that we tell. Rebecca Ziegler is traveling and could not be with us today. But she shared with me a poem entitled Christmas Story that was related, she thought, to this sermon. And I asked her and was granted permission to share it with you today. So here is Rebecca Ziegler's poem, Christmas Story. Expunge for a minute the angels, the glorious. What is this about? It's about a homeless woman about to give birth with no shelter, and paternity is in doubt. It's about using a feed box as a crib for that essential modicum of warmth. A week later, when Herod's troops marched into Bethlehem, it's about a genocide. Now, add back in the angels, the glorious, the joy. What is this about? Rebecca doesn't attempt to answer the question, but like us, she lifts up the paradox. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be much mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Maybe for some. And perhaps it can be a time of peace for us too, if we're open to it. Perhaps we can become one with Mary at this time of year and know that our pain may lead to something divine. Now you may think it heretical of me to liken us to the Blessed Virgin, but I consider my heresy to be a most blessed heresy that allows me to take what many deem as holy and try to learn something by immersing myself in that role. Yes, I do believe that through our pain and suffering, through that grievous time of labor, we can give birth to the divine, to the holy, to that which matters. We will become stronger and more understanding, more knowledgeable, better equipped to make a difference in ourselves and in the world, no matter what our circumstances may be. It can be the most wonderful time of the year, not because we have to be cheery and happy and merry, but because we don't. We can have heavy spirits and shattered dreams, broken hearts and deep wounds, and still recognize that love is here. We are here. We survive. And we can connect in that love that strengthens us and emboldens us and keeps us going, to keep striving, to keep living, to keep loving. For Christians, this time of year represents one in which love came down. God came to earth. And we can honor that tradition as well, regardless of what our own beliefs or traditions may be. And we can welcome that divine love into our lives. It's here. It's in the hearts of those who are sitting next to you in this room or across the way. It's in the smiles and the laughter of those children who are learning and playing nearby across the way. It's in the very air that we breathe. I wanted to close this sermon with some ritual of healing for us. And I could not think of a better one than deep breathing as you listen to Sarah Dan Jones's beautiful song that was written for first responders after 9/11. So I invite you to close your eyes and feel free to just breathe. Breathe in peace and breathe out love and healing to those here in this room, to yourself, to the world. Or if you like, you can join me in singing, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out,